Welcome again, once again on Monday, on the lunch break. Yours truly, Johnny Cole in the HBCU Stroll. Let me tell you where I'm at. I'm at the legendary Cotton Bowl with Dr. Scott from Grambling State University, HBCU man, graduate from Southern University. Dr. Scott, we're glad you had some time. How you doing?
Hey, man, all is well. Thank you for having me. Of course, it's a very busy time. Over at the State Fair Classic out in Dallas. Our Tigers get to take on Prairie View A&M, so we're excited about that, the opportunity that this game provides in terms of exposure for our young men. And we're excited to be a part of it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I had a little taste of the Southern bug as well. And so this Classic is no big thing to you. You've been at the Bayou Classic, but, records are thrown out the door.
Absolutely.
Just give us an update on your athletic department at Grambling State.
Sure. So, we're an athletic department comprised of about 350 student athletes, 15 sports, 10 coaches. We believe in being student athlete centered, coaches driven, and administratively supported. The student athlete experience is something that's important to us. We're looking now to galvanize our base. We just released our strategic plan, Together We Will, on last Tuesday with 7 core principles geared toward elevating Grambling State University athletics to the next level in the next 5 years. And of course, with football and Coach Jackson and all that he's able to, do with our young men, we look to him and his program to be a catalyst for that. So we're excited, of course, of our leadership at the University of Louisiana system level. And then, of course, President Gallo has just been an outstanding leader for our institution for 6 years now. And so we look now to take advantage of that and take Grambling State University athletics to the next level.
Well, I'm an HBCU man, and I've been around HBCUs for the last 40 years, and that's how I got to HBCU. Mm-hmm. Grambling, Doug Williams, the great thing. You guys carry that torch very well, and you guys are one of the leaders when you talk about HBCU.
Absolutely.
Grambling shows up.
Well, I'll tell you this, the history, the tradition, the pageantry, the power that comes with wearing that G is something that you must take seriously. And, anytime you have the opportunity to advance discussions with a legend like a Doug Williams or a Shaq Harris or an Emerson Wallace, you understand very quickly that G is bigger than any one man, woman, or child, right? And that G is synonymous with greatness and doing things, at a certain level for an extended period of time. So a heightened level for an extended period of time. And so we understand and recognize that. And it's an honor for me, obviously with being able to, of course, assume the leadership role in this department. And it's something that, of course, again, we take seriously, and we won't let the Graham fam down, because the Graham fam deserves the best and our best at all times.
Yeah, without a doubt. And mentioning Eddie Robinson, we can't say enough about him. Let's talk about the State Fair Classic.
Sure.
Great game, been going on for a long time. You guys definitely is more been on the winning side than the losing side. Tell me, what does that mean to a HBCU guy like yourself, mm-hmm. and a guy that's leading the Grambling Tigers?
Well, I'll tell you, first and foremost, Grambling's been on the winning side almost more often than not in every endeavor, specifically in football, specifically in the Southwestern Athletics Conference. And of course, having the opportunity now to, of course, end the streak of 4 years not actually winning the game, which is different for us. We look forward to it. I think, the biggest thing for us is being able to, of course, continuously build our program, but exude that excellence during that building process. And, we understand where we are as a program. We understand that we're fairly young across the board. We've got fairly new coaches all across the department. But we also have coaches who are really specific in what they know, and are tacticians, and are really good at putting together teams personnel-wise, and the philosophies that complements them. So, we don't have any worries on our side. I think if we play Grambling State University, Tiger football, we'll be fine, and that is the standard. So, our guys are going to be ready, our coaches are ready, and we're certainly ready to get out and show who we are on Saturday evening.
Coming down to the last end, because we got a lot of people coming at you. Next on is Coach Hugh Jackson. Your last words, or what you want to say to the fans, the crowd, and of course your alumni.
Well, of course, to the Grambling State University alumni, the GSU Graham Fam faithful, continue to make investments on our campus.
Yeah.
Continue believing in that black and gold. If I had to make a general statement to all HBCUs, I think it would carry that same sentiment. Continue to invest in our institutions. Our institutions are important to the sustainability of many professions, in the workforce, but also in developing these young men and women of character and highlighting what our institutions can bring, to our students who graduate from them and really recognize them and really give back. So I think that's the most important thing. I just so happen to be working at the greatest of them all, and I feel so privileged to have that opportunity. So to the Graham fam, we love you. We're going to continue to build this thing out brick by brick, and we're going to create an environment where Grambling State University athletics is an elite front porch for our great institution. And so with that, I'll close and say thank you for having me.
Well, with a man like this in leadership from Dr. Scott, he's told you where it's at. Man, I'm very impressed. I know Grambling's going to do a great job. Thank you much for coming on to the show. Yeah.
Are you looking for something to do on your lunch break? Well, there's a show on the BS3 network that has only 4 words to say to you.
We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all. We ready. We ready. We ready for y'all.
The Lunch Break with AJ, powered by JM&E. Live weekdays at noon Central.
Hey, I'm back. That's right, at the legendary Cotton Bowl. I got the legendary Hugh Jackson with me. We got a lot in common. Offensive coordinator, one of the first offensive coordinators in the NFL, black offensive coordinator. You always got to use that word, and because this show is about us and for us. And I'm just, guy that I used to look up to. And Coach Jackson, I know you've been in big time football, and I know the triangle is the same.
It is.
And for a big game like this, for your players, what are some of the preparation that you're going through this week to get them up?
It's really about us making sure that we cross the T's and dot all the I's. There's some things we need to improve at before we get ready to play this game. We'll work on those extremely hard this week because we don't want those things to rear their ugly heads this weekend when we get ready to play this game.
Yeah. Well, you can throw the records out there. I've been in this game. I've been in, probably the last 20 years to this game every time. You can throw the records out.
Right.
But, Grambling's been the favorite now. Grambling's been the favorite. But, Prairie View's playing good football right now. What do you say your team is?
Our team is a young team that's growing and learning how I want them to play football. I think, and you said it, Prairie View right now is leading our conference. They've done a great job. Coach McDowell's been there. He knows the culture there. We're creating a culture. And I really think it's important that our players, our fans, everybody understand that we're trending the right direction, and we're looking forward to playing this game.
Well, me being a former coach and knowing when you come in, like you said, about building the culture and building that attitude, it takes time, and I know you're asking the Grambling fans and people to take your time. If you are on a scale 1 to 10, 10 being the best, where do you think you guys are at?
I think we're probably at about a 4 right now, but we're trending up. I mean, we started from the bottom. I'm being very honest with that. We had to go recruit. We had to go change coaches, do those things. And it's taken a little time, maybe a little longer than any of us would like. But at the same time, we're heading in the right direction.
Well, Coach, with all your experience, and trying to start things over, and you've been there. You've been, to some NFL teams. What are some of the things that you think are key to building your program?
I think first you got to get the right people in place because all of this is about people. And I think you know that. Then you have to go recruit the right student athletes that you feel represent Grambling State University the right way. And then you have to do everything you can to provide the resources for those student athletes to be the best they can be. And I think we're, like I said, I can't say it enough. I think we're trending in the right direction. I see signs of us really about to have a breakthrough, and boy, I think it's going to be this weekend.
Okay. Now, you know, you're recruiting. I know you brought a kid in, quarterback in from UCLA. Is he your starter yet? He's your starter right now?
No, because Jai Holloway's been moving receiver. So our starter right now is Quintarius Hawkins. He's a kid out of junior college out of Louisiana. He's done a great job. He's growing weekly. But, he, you know, again, he's learning. You know, he's learning how to play this game at a high level. It changes week to week because there's some really good coaches in this country.
Yeah, I remember when I was at Alabama State, I had a great quarterback down there, Kenny. And we got a transfer from Oklahoma State named Tiger. And I remember, you know, being a quarterback myself, sitting down talking to him. I know that was a hard talk. I said, man, you transferred from UCLA down here to play quarterback, and now you play receiver. That must be a great kid. No,
he is a great kid. And it's really interesting because he came to me and he wanted to make that switch. And so I felt like it was the best thing. Anytime a player tells you this is what he thinks he's going to be better at, well, you make that decision for him right away.
Well, I can even piggyback off of it. Put your best athletes
absolutely
on the field.
Yes, sir.
Well, Coach, you're going in this game. You know, of course, the big thing about you took the G off the helmet.
Yes, I did.
I get it.
Yes.
I get it, but some folks don't get it. Can you explain that?
Well, I think it's really important that there's a standard that Grambling State University has. And it had fallen short before I even got there. And so as I started to dig into the season, dig into our players, I don't think they really understood the history, the tradition, the great men who came before them who had put that G on them. And really what it stands for excellence. And when we're not meeting that standard, I don't think that it should be just given. I think anything that we have at Grambling State University should be given. And I think our players understand that. I haven't had one player make a fuss about not having it, but they do make a fuss about wanting to earn it back. And I think that's so important.
You know, last week you were playing good ball, you know, in kind of the second half, you know, with your coaching experience, you know, when teams fall off in the second half, what you think that is? Is it focus? Is it conditioning?
I don't think it's conditioning. I think it's mental. You know, some players are not ready to play 60, 70 plays of that constant pressure of having to make those right decisions. I don't know that they've never been put in that environment. I'm not talking about the past. I'm talking about since we've been there. Now you're in a game environment. It's not a scrimmage. You're not scrimmaging against the known person. You're against somebody who's trying to win a game and trying to stop you, legitimately beat you up. And so it's different for these guys. And they're learning that there's a whole different level that you got to play at to be a champion.
Well, you know, I know Coach Thornton as well.
Oh, absolutely.
His wife, beautiful family, beautiful couple. You know, I know it's tough on him.
It is.
You know, where are you guys at defensively wise? It seems like you're playing good ball and you're playing good enough. But of course, the outcome is always the W.
Absolutely. And he'll be first to tell you we're not where we want to be. But we see real signs, real tangible signs that we can build on. And that's what we've been doing. None of our staff thought we'd be in this position today. But at the same time, we all understand why we are. And you have to understand how to fix it. And I think that's what we're really focused on. You know, again, we as coaches are all competitive. We want to win every game, every drill, everything. But at the same time, we've had to see exactly where we are and we know what we need to do to get to where we need to go.
All right, Faison, I know you just now started as the top of the week. You just now started evaluating period end. Is any player they have that I ain't gonna say frighten you, but anybody that you know you guys need to focus on to make sure that they don't beat you?
Oh, several. You know, because on defense, they're extremely, they're very athletic. They run to the football. They play hard. Coach McDowell's done a great job. Offense have a quarterback that's very good. They have running backs that can make plays. They have receivers that can make plays. There hasn't been a team that we played that I go, wow, there's nothing that we don't need to worry about. Everybody's going to bring a new challenge. But obviously, they're leading the conference right now. So it's a big game for us. It's a chance for us. It's just an opportunity for us to go make a statement and be better.
You know, for a guy like you to be coaching in HBCU, it's an honor for me to talk with you about it. And one of these days I'll get down the street. I live here, and be able to come in there and try to pick your brain.
Love for you to do that.
And we got the big classic, State Fair Classic. You guys will be coming in here hungry.
Absolutely. Oh no, we will be.
What did this game mean to your players, or have you had a chance to share that with them? Or what's your approach on bringing them here down here?
You know what's really interesting? They've had an opportunity to share with me. They've told me, Coach, this is a big game. We have quite a few players that are from the Dallas Fort Worth area. They're excited about coming home, coming back to a place they're familiar. They want to reclaim what they feel is theirs, which is this State Fair Classic. So we're going to come in here excited. Again, we're not going to make it about all the pageantry. We got to make it about the football game. And I think our players can focus on that. Let's make sure that we're ready to go and do the things we need to do in football.
Well, I ain't going to hold you, Coach. I know you got to get in that film room.
Yes,
you got to get on the W column.
Yes.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thank you much.
Thank you so much.
Be in touch.
Yes, sir. Thank you. On.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
And we're back here at the Cotton Bowl, legendary Cotton Bowl. I'm here with the one and only Coach Bubba McDowell, Prairie View A&M. Coach, I'm glad we were able to get together. I know you're a busy guy, and I told him I can get in touch with Obama before I can get in touch with him. But no, Coach, man, I can't say enough, man. You've been getting it done.
Yes, sir.
Been getting it done, and you've been around for a while. University of Miami graduate, so you don't play this in big games.
Yes, sir.
But this is your first really HBCU Classic. Going to be 50,000 fans. How do you prepare?
Well, we got to prepare like we're going in to win this game. And I got to tell guys now, just because you show up, don't mean that they're gonna fall down, and let you win the game. We got to continue to just prepare like we've been preparing, Johnny. Throughout the week, be ready for a young, exciting team.
If you had to pick, what is the strong point of the team? You've been scoring enough points, been stopping some people. If you had to say, what's your strong point? What would it be?
It would definitely be that D-line. This is the first time, Johnny, since I've been there at PV, and again, my 12th year there, that we've had depth at the D-line spot. And you guys know, those that know football, and of course I know because I played behind some great guys at the University of Miami and with the Oilers. You got to have that D-line. If you don't have that D-line, then you get nothing. You give those secondary guys a chance to make plays. And the good thing about it as well, those guys they can play ball. They can rush the quarterback.
Do you have depth in that area as well?
Absolutely. We're 3 deep right there.
Wow. Well, you keep the pressure on.
Absolutely.
I know as a defensive back coach, I know you just sit back and smile.
That's it.
When that quarterback just tossed the ball out there.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I tell my DBs, you got to make sure you take care of these dudes at the end of the game. After the game, steak dinner or something.
I know Morales big. You got Prairie View ringing and everybody. Yeah. You're leading the West Conference. Did you know you'd be at this spot? Coming in, taking over a program.
I did not, John, to be honest with you. And I knew we had the talent. Again, it's just about them adapting to what we're teaching them, coming from Coach Dooley, who left us in a great position, though. Because, again, I'm still playing with a lot of his guys right now that we recruited over the years. And I say his guy, I mean, he was the head coach. But, again, we got speed. We got talent, And as I told them, John, we still have yet to put it together, like four quarters together. We're still making mistakes throughout the course of the game, or costing ourselves, making it hard to where we just cruise through a game. And I want to be able to do that again, as I tell guys. I mean, I want to be able to play so good to where we can get our second, third, and fourth guys in there and let them get a little run as well.
Well, one of the things in my show, I try to make sure I produce some of those assistant coaches as well. Try to uproot. Tell us about some of your assistant coaches, your offense coordinator, defense coordinator.
Yeah, Mark Frederick. He's with us last year. Again, what he's on the Dooley era, and he's doing a phenomenal job as the OC. Getting guys in position to make plays, as well as our defense coordinator, Todd Middleton, who's doing an outstanding job with the defense. And again, it's about putting guys in position to make plays. We tell guys all the time, we can't make plays for you. All we can do is put you in position to make plays. And he's doing that. He's doing it with the coaching staff, assistant guys that he has.
Okay, good job. Big game, Coach. How's your kids' morale? Y'all came off a big win last week. Of course, you guys have meant to keep telling me, you beat my Tigers. You beat my TSU Tigers.
Good thing we got them early.
Yeah, they can play, Coach. They play. They just got to put it together. But big game. This classic game is more about, it's about family. It's about alumni. We make a little money, and it's so traditional, and that's why I think classics are important to HBCUs. How you guys feel? Are they ready to go? Or you've been in this classic before. Yeah. How you get them ready and prepared?
Well, I mean, I think they are ready to go. We had some issues last weekend, this past weekend, should I say, and they grew up. They grew up, with all that adversity that we had this past weekend. They grew up quite a bit, and that's what we want to see as a coaching staff. Now we know that these guys can handle pretty much anything. I think they're going to come out and be ready to go. As I said earlier, we want to be able to put 4 quarters of football together where we're dominant. I think this is a great chance, great time to start doing that.
Man, I always thought from the first time I met you, you always had laid back. You didn't know that you had played in the field and all that good thing. I think your personality, kind of fits what Prairie View need. So what's next? So do we have an opportunity? You think that you can run the table, or you just taking a look at it?
Well, I mean, it's always that opportunity, but again, we just got to make sure that we still, as coaching and as a coaching staff, that we got to make sure that these guys are on the right track, daily, from just from class work to putting things together on the field. Because I always tell them, especially when I'm seeing them not doing what they're supposed to do mentally and physically on the field. Guys, this is a great quote. This is, to me, a great coalition to what you do in the classroom. You get it done in the classroom, it's going to transition to the field. And that's what we're trying to teach these young men, to do it the right way every time, no matter where you are.
Yeah, the State Fair Classic, Grambling is way up in the win column. Yeah. And it's really the first time that tables are turned. The Prairie View is coming in with the winning record, and Grambling is kind of growing itself. Of course, I know you don't want to come in too big-headed, but your chances are good. Is anybody on the Grambling side that worries you guys?
Well, I mean, they got a great quarterback, man. Quarterback, big number 10, big tight end type receiver. He's pretty big. He can run. I mean, coach, they got a great running game, great passing game. I think for us, it's, going into this week, Johnnie, being that he was from the NFL, they throwing a lot of NFL package in there, with the offense and defense. So we got to make sure that we're homing in, and picking up on these NFL type schemes, for us to be successful.
Well, he definitely from watching him and watching you from Tennessee State, he's back to some traditional pro set and twins and type. Some of these kids haven't even seen it. So I know that's gonna be challenging.
Yeah, it is. And again, it's not that we can't handle it. We just got to be able to do what we do at the time that's called for us to do. And I say I mean by that, the players got to do their job first. They do it, and as we told them, if you do that, we're gonna be okay. We stop making the mistakes that hurt us. We can blow a game now.
Okay. Well, your last remarks, Coach. I gotta let you go. You gotta get in the film room and get to your next part. Is there anything that you want to share with the alumni, Prairie View A&M, the classic game?
Yeah, it's a classic. You guys know what it's about. We want to see you out there. We want to see that. We don't want to see a speck in the seats. No bench, no nothing showing. And I know you guys are going to do that. So we love you guys for, again, just inviting me in along with the new coaching staff this year. And we're going to continue to do our very best for you guys.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Thank you. The HBCU Stroll. We're going to pay a couple bills. We'll be.
Said that Sharifa Barksdale is on the verge. She's getting ready to set the world record. And I lost concentration and I followed that hurdle. I was devastated.
One of our hopes for the Olympic Games, Sharifa Barksdale from Tennessee, a fine intermediate hurdler, ranked 10th in the world at 400 meters.
Posición game ball de Canadá, dominando la prueba y la estadounidense Sharifa Barksdale está en.
When I fell over that hurdle, it ended my career. And then all of a sudden, my coach grabs me by the throat. And I was going through some paperwork and seeing that he had spent 10 years in prison. And I was just like floored. It turned to domestic violence. I was terrified. So if I left, I don't know if I was going to die. My family didn't know if they was going to get a phone call to say that Sharifa was dead.
8910 radio, I said a vehicle took a shot at me. Southbound on East 95th.
Broke the U.S. record in the 400-meter hurdles. Represented the United States of America.
Imagine being on the biggest, fastest roller coaster that you have ever been on. That's the way my life was for 20 years.
I never had no trouble out of her being what she wanted to be. Because if this is what she wanted to be a runner, well, God bless her, and He did.
Discouragement, sorrow, distance. Your arguments cause damage to your family. The hurt leads to divorce. You feel like there is nowhere else to turn. But there is hope for you. That's where we come into play. There is an overcomer that lives inside of you. One ready to take on the world as you leap for joy, living in victory. You'll grow to love yourself and others. There's life after divorce, and you can claim it today. Get Over Divorce, where your new story begins here every Thursday on YouTube and Spreaker.
We're back here live at the State Fair Classic Media Day. We're here at the legendary Cotton Bowl. And I have next to me this other tiger, Miss Robot. She is the band director at Grambling State. Yes, I know she's a female. She's the only one, and she's probably the first ever. How you doing, Miss Robot?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Man, how do you handle that big old band there? Were you in the band as well? I take it.
I was in the band at Grambling State University, and now to be director of bands is such an humbling experience. A lot of hard work goes into what we do. And I say it all the time, no one person can do this job alone. I have an excellent team standing right with me, and I am blessed, and I'm so thankful for my team, and we make sure that the World Fame continues the rich legacy and history that we have.
This is the HBCU Stroll, and we don't leave nobody out.
Okay.
And let me tell you, the band is so much and so important, as you know, they just as important as the football game.
Correct.
Do we got something special coming? Because this is one of the biggest classics in HBCU.
Well, when the world fame shows up, we always show out. So from the time we step off the bus until the time we hit the field, it's always a show. And I tell everybody, get to the stadium early because there will be a 0 quarter, and stay late because there will be a 5th quarter.
This is one of the questions I always ask. I played football.
Okay.
And they say the battle of the bands, but I never see a trophy. It's always, I guess everybody takes their own individual, say, oh, well, Grambling won, Prairie View won, How does that happen? It's just, do y'all get together before the game, or it's just the common courtesy of band?
Well, we don't get together before the game, but based off crowd participation, and our fans are always going to say that we won, and the opposing team fans will always say that that they won. But at the end of the day, it's just good fun. It is just Black excellence at its best.
Ain't no question that we gonna have a fantastic game at the State Fair Classic this weekend. We got the Grambling band coming in, led by Miss Roebuck. We got Prairie View's band coming in. Is there anything special, or you don't want to give away the secret of every time a band plays, they always dedicate some type of song or something? Can I get first dibs on what the theme gonna be this week?
I would just have to say, make sure that you're in the building, and when we hit the field, you're there watching, because you don't want to miss it.
Man, of course, you was in the band. Where did you and were you an instrumental player? Were you the front majorette, or?
So my instrument is clarinet.
Okay.
My first instrument is actually piano, but my marching band instrument I played was clarinet. I was a freshman in 1995. Now I'm telling my age a little bit.
That's okay.
But yes, I marched in the band. I was a student leader in the band, and to come back and be over the band that I once marched in, I'm just so thankful for it.
Okay. Did you in your high school? I know you were in the band in high school as well. Kind of share that with us. We're going back. I'm trying
to.
Okay. Well, this show is about you. Yeah.
So, actually in middle school, I started playing clarinet in 6th grade. Then 7th grade, went on, continued to play clarinet. I was drum major my 8th grade year. Went on to high school, marched my 9th, 10th, and my 11th and 12th grade year, I was drum major for my high school band. So always been in the leadership position. So this is just kind of, like you said, we're going back, and here we are now.
Yeah. Well, look, we at the State Fair. Hey, we can throw the records out. You know what I mean? We can throw what we have. We got to show up. You got to show up. I'm going to be steadily there watching. Man, how do you handle so many? The Grambling band is so large.
Yes.
So how many people are in the band?
So we have 247 members.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. So if I'm a high school kid and I'm watching HBCU Stroll, because I get young kids and they want to know how do you get into the band or how you get to Grambling, do you recruit, or how does that work?
So we do recruit. And if anyone is interested in becoming a member of the World Fame, I say you can reach out to me directly at roebuckn@graham.edu, or you can reach me by phone at 318-274-2682, and I'll be glad to share with you any audition requirements that you need, as well as scholarships that we have available.
Now you got to explain. I'm a football coach.
Okay.
So when I'm recruiting, I'm looking at size, height, can he run, can he tackle, what to eat. Tell me, how do you recruit a band?
So when we go out and recruit, we ask you to play your 12 major scales. So we're looking for musicianship, we're looking for tone, we're looking for technique. We also have a sight reading piece that we do, and they have to have a prepared piece for us, some concert literature, something they play for maybe an honor band or all-state audition. So that's what we do. We listen to them, and then we rate them on that, and we'll let them know how much money we can offer them per semester.
Okay. Now, do you guys offer full scholarships or partial, or what's your scholarship?
So we have scholarships that range. Our highest scholarship is a P1, and then we have P2, P3, P4.
Okay.
And just depending on where you rank in that, depends on how much money you get per semester.
Okay. Well, I was a quarterback in school, and I ended up doing a great job. So maybe I was a P1.
You probably was a P1.
Yeah. I'm a P1. But we're talking to the Grambling alumni. Definitely, we don't ever have enough money and enough support. So if you want to say something, we need to donate some band money, huh?
Right. The band is as great as we are. We would always like to offer more money to our students for the hard work that they put in. I mean, when you're talking about getting up at 5 in the morning, still having to go to class, coming to practice at night. I mean, it's a sport. People look at band as being fun because we make it look easy. That's what we're supposed to do. But it's hard work. It's hard dedication. The kids have to be determined. They have to be focused. They learn time management. And if we can reward them with offering them more money, scholarship-wise, that would be an excellent thing. Same thing with uniforms. We always want to make sure that we keep our program taken care of. It's like a car. You just don't leave your car and you don't wash it, you don't wax it, you don't clean it up, you don't put any money into it. So in order for the program to continue to move forward, there are some funds that have to be contributed for us to do what we do.
No, ain't no doubt. This game is big. You was a student in this game as well, so you know what's behind it. Right. You know, and everybody, is getting prepared. Of course, I'm a football guy, but you're a band person. Tell me, what do you go through preparing for this class?
Actually, we start preparing when the year starts. We look at the schedule and we prepare ahead of time. So just to get ready for the Cotton Bowl, which is our first classic of the year. It's kind of like a prep phase for us. We try to get the kids mentally prepared, physically prepared, musically prepared. So it's kind of like it's like a coach. You have your plays. That's and right. So we have our song list for the 0 quarter. We have what we're gonna do for halftime. We have what we're gonna do for the 5th quarter. So that's our playlist.
Oh, okay, okay. Like I said, you're a veteran at this, and now I kind of see, and you've given me a different light on this game. What other places have you guys been, or do you have some more scheduled? I know you guys have performed in the Super Bowl before. Parades, and you use that world famous. Tell us why we so world famous.
Yeah, so we are world famous. Hence the name. We have been all over the world. We have been to Africa. We've been to Tokyo. You name it, the band has done it. We've done more Super Bowls than any other HBCU bands. Actually, they did a little trivia on the show one time, and they said, who has performed the most in the Super Bowl? And it was Grambling State University World Famous Tiger Marching Band.
Yes, you also have a legendary coach in Eddie Robinson. Can't say enough about him. We'd be remiss if we don't ever always need to mention that. And some of the greats, Emerson Walls, Doug Williams, all those great guys.
Right. And I have to say, Conrad Hutchinson Jr., who laid the foundation for what we do now, who had a vision. So I always say I'm standing on the shoulders of greatness, but I'm charting my own path.
But there you go. Hey, that's the band director. If you don't get down here to the State Fair Classic, man, you're going to miss one. Well, where we go from here? What's the next big thing? I know you guys on your schedule, you got the Southern Hit with the Bayou Classic. But I'm pretty sure you guys got some other things on your schedule.
Well, I tell my students every game is a big game. So you want to put your best foot forward because people are paying to see the world fame. So it's our job to make sure everywhere we go that we put on the show.
Right. Now, do those kids really, really believe that? Do they believe that they say that is 200? You got 200 people. You tougher than a coach. we only dealing with about 90 people. You talking about 200? That each one of them got a job to do.
Everybody has a job to do, and that's what I teach them. Everybody in the room is important. Wow. So if you play your part, it just makes the program stronger.
So do you film practice? Coaches, we film practice to see where the mistakes are. How do you keep up with 200 people?
So we have a media team, and I love my media team. So they make sure that
break that down for me. layman terms,
So
the media team.
Our media team for the World Fame, they make sure that they capture all the content that we need. So if it's halftime, zero quarter, fifth quarter, the march in, the march out. So it gives the students something to look and evaluate themselves on, as well as the directors.
And
so
they filming that.
They film it,
Okay,
and they put it up on our social media handles on Instagram, and you can follow us at GSU_World Fame Band on Instagram.
That's right.
We have a YouTube channel as well.
Okay.
So on Sunday, that's my time to go back and watch the halftime show.
You coaching now. You coaching.
I write down my notes. Same thing with the zero quarter, the fifth quarter, the march in, the march out. So when I come in on Mondays, the staff, we come in and we critique the band. We tell them what they did good, what was not so good, how we can fix it, and how we can move forward. So that's our job on Mondays. Kind of like when you guys go in and watch a game day film. So that's what we do, and we bring it back to the students, and that's how we continue to progress every week.
Yeah. Now, we have numbers on the jerseys. We be like, number, who was that? That's 32. Oh, that's such and such. Man, his feet is wrong. You got 200 people. No number. You must got a heck of an eye for what you're looking for.
Well, we know where they are on the field. So we have them in their company fronts. And so you have a director over each section. You have an upper brass, you have a lower brass, you have a percussion, you have woodwind. And so we know where our people are. And we see them every day in those particular spots. And then we get a chance to, I can know if that's Andrew or if that's Larry, I can say, oh, I can put my eye on it and I know who it is.
Okay. Okay. Well, hey, there you have it. We have the #1 band director. I'm giving her the title. She's on the show. She's let you know. And so when you're thinking about the game, think about that band as well. They just as strong. They go through just as much as the athletes. And you shared a lot of things that I really didn't know. But it's the same model as coaching. Any last remarks to your alumni, to your students, to your fan base?
I always say thank you for your continued support of not just Grambling State University, but for the World Fame Tiger Marching Band. I look forward to seeing everybody at the game on Saturday.
Thank you, Dr. Roebuck, for the opportunity to speak with you, to share some light on why the band is so important, not only because they're good, it's because those students, they put the same time in as any other athlete.
Right.
Thank you much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
So we can.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.
We're back. We're live with the HBCU Stroll. My name's Johnnie Cole, and I'm here with the man who, I ain't gonna say started it, but took it over and took this game to a next level. I just recently found out that the State Fair Classic between Prairie View and Grambling started back in 1925. Now I'm with the Honorable, and he doesn't get enough praise for this game, Mr. Al Wash.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
legendary Johnny Cole.
Well, we with Mr. Wash. Man, I can't say enough. I'm an HBCU graduate, and I know how important it is for us to have games like this. Financially, it's good for the university. And when, me being around the HBCUs for now 40 years, I think these games are important. They not only important for the money aspect, they're important for family, alumni, friends. It's a gathering place.
And it's important for the city also. I mean, the economical impact that they said that we bring into the city and the money we spend in the hotel, gasoline, food, restaurants, shopping. We spend money as Black people. We spend money.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. So what year is this for you?
This is my 45th year.
45 years. Jesus. Well, really for the first time, or maybe the second time, Prairie View is actually coming in as the favorite.
Well, that's true. And, they won the last 4 games.
Oh, wow.
So, but it used to be a time that we knew that Grambling was going to beat Prairie View 50-0.
Yeah.
And that's why we kept it the best secret, and what I did is I turned around, and I'm not promoting a game, I'm promoting an event. We have the world's largest fair. World's largest fair. It's not the county fair. I'm talking about out of New York and all these places. And if anybody ever beat our attendance, Texas is going to do something about it. They're going to do something bigger.
Well, if you didn't know, the game is right in the middle in the legendary Cotton Bowl of the State Fair. As a matter of fact, this is the first weekend they're going to be opening up the State Fair.
That's true. Friday is the opening day of the fair. And then we have Grammy Award winning Ashanti performing at 4 o'clock. And the kickoff is at 6 o'clock. If you've never been to a state fair, you need to come. Yeah. You can walk the fair all day long and never see the same thing.
I tell you what, I've been coming to this game now 20 years. I ain't missed a game, and of course, I've coached as well too. So every time I get a chance to come, I'm coming to check it out, because not only do I watch the game, and it's a meeting place for former players and former athletes.
That's true, and we built it as a joint mission. These people know where they're gonna sit every year. They all know where they're gonna meet up at. They're gonna have a pint.
Nah. Coach,
it's a party.
One of the things you changed this year was the time.
That's correct. We changed the time due to the heat. It used to be 25 years ago, we used to have jackets and sweaters on at the same time of the game. But now, I guess the global warming, it's changed, and it's the heat. And 4 o'clock, it was burning people up, and we decided to move the game to 6 o'clock.
Well, let's talk about a little business here, Al. You hear about the Southern Heritage Classic breaking up, now there's some rumbling about why are we getting promoters to promote games. I'm pro-promoter. I'll tell you that right now. And I still think that Black schools, we need these classic games because, we need the finances, and get the crowds at home. Probably 90% of Black schools don't get these crowds. How big is the crowd we're expecting this weekend?
We'll probably do over 50,000 people this year.
Okay.
And you hear that talk, and God bless Deion Sanders. He's done a lot to help HBCUs at the conferences, but it's a thing to where you got to know, like Coach Robinson said, boy, you just keep putting butts in seats, and you all right with me. He said, I coach the game, and you keep putting the people in the stand. And that's what we do. The schools don't have anybody on their staff to do and be here year round. We start promoting this game after 30 days of rest. We start back 11 months out.
Yeah, and to deserve all the respect. A contract is a contract. Everybody gets to take a side, of what I want, what's going to satisfy me, and what's not. I don't know if you want to explain your contract and how you do your game, this game here.
Yeah, my contract is definitely a different type of contract than most of these other promoters. They buy the game, they have the rights to the game. And I don't have a problem with that because what they went through to build it up today, you know, they wasn't always making money. What happened when they was losing money? Where were the
and you're speaking of the promoters.
Yeah, speaking of the promoters. And when I have a contract that the school takes 76% of the net profits. So, you know, I got to pay my bills out of the rest of it. So, you know, they walk home with a good check, and I don't have a problem with that because they bringing the show to town. You know, I just have to get the people there to look at the game, watch the game, and I put up all the money to do that. The school don't have a budget to go out and pre-approve and prepay bills that we pay, you know.
I know when I was at Texas Southern University head coach, and we had talked about promoting the Labor Day Classic game.
Right.
And one of the things that, you know, when you start talking, you said, Cole, we gotta not make the game about a game. We gotta make it an event. And that comes with time. So I was able to pull the numbers, and you were right. When you hosted that game, it was over 25,000, 25,000. When the school hosted it, it was in the 17,000. So that was sold me on that you got a vested interest to make sure the game goes.
It's like any coach or anybody in business. You do better, more people you put in the stadium, the more money you should make. You know, and that's my thing is that this is not the only thing I do. You know, so it's just one thing out of the year, and we are the largest event in the state of Texas under one roof of Black people.
Wow.
You know, nobody that I know of has an event that's going to do 50,000 Black people.
Well, you know, my thing too, I'm always, and that's one reason why I kind of started the show. It's okay to be HBCU. It's okay to be a small person. Everybody can't be big, large. There's different sides, so it's okay. So if we need games to be promoted, which we do, because now look at the smaller schools. You're talking about the Mississippi Valleys. You're talking about, you know, the Texas Southerns who's down. You know, we're talking about the Arkansas Pine Bluffs. You know, these guys are unlike Jackson State. Jackson State, you know, is one of the largest attendees, and it's been that way for 40 years. They've been in the top 5 or 3 in attendance for 40 years. So, yeah, they might not need as much as classic games. But I can remember a Jackson State team that was down and hardly nobody went to the stadium. So what happens then? Now they'll call Fred Jones and say, let's get that game back. You know, it's okay. We don't need to be Oklahoma, Texas, Alabama. We're the SWAC conference. It's for us, by us. And I think sometimes we get away from that because classic games are bigger. You know, again, I know we need the money, but we don't need the money to be trying to be Alabama. Of course, we need the money to run the system. Our great leaders came from Black colleges. Now our great leaders are entertainers. They're not congressmen and senators like when we came up with your Jesse Jacksons and Andrew Youngs and Martin Luther Kings. All of them come from Black schools.
Right.
And we were okay then. Now all of a sudden we scattered. We got it. We understand money is important, but it ain't everything. I know the Turkey Day Classic down in Alabama, the same thing. You know, it don't scatter. So this game here, the State Fair Classic, it's strong, it's alive, it's led by a good man and 2 good teams. It's a family atmosphere, you know, and you definitely have made this out of the event. And, you know, you said earlier, what are some of the other things that you do besides?
We also promote gospel concerts, we do comedy, we do plays, we do anything that Black people buy tickets to that they can be entertained. You know, from the Tyler Perry to the Steve Harveys to the, you know, anything that they can laugh and have fun and it's clean and, you know, it's a good thing, you know. So,
and a lot of people don't know about Al Walsh. Al Walsh and Eddie Robinson, they had a plan. I don't know so much it was Eddie or you were a young guy. Not only did you have the classic, you hosted most of his games. That's how he became and took Grambling to the next level. You want to talk about that?
Well, you know, now you got to think about College A. Nichols that was there that did do some things and get Eddie Robinson some good contracts with corporate people, car deals, and put him on TV. And when I was a young kid, I used to see Eddie Robinson doing a commercial in a car dealership. I'd never seen that before, you know? So when I got the opportunity, you know, I had to study what I had, and I had to improve on every year. And not that I know everything, and the same thing is not going to work every year. You have to switch it up and go with the times. These kids are social media. It's not all about just radio. It's not all about just TV. These people are into social media. I'm old school. I'm a radio man. But I got the young people at my office that tell me, oh, we need to do social media. I'm not against it. I'm still learning too. It'll be something else in my son and your son's lifetime. It'll be something else that'll come up that they have to do different.
Right. So you actually promoted games for Eddie outside of...
I did all the home games too. I did the home games. I did Shreveport game. I did a game in Detroit, Michigan, Chicago. You know, his motto was "Have team, will travel." That's what we did.
And they became world famous.
We even did the game in Memphis one year when Fred said, "Al, I got to do something. I got to get over this hump." He said, "What do you think I can do?" I said, "Bring Grambling in here." He said, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, bring Grambling." He was having similar problems that he's having today. You know, brought Grambling in there, and everybody signed up a contract, and it was off and running. And they want to see Grambling in there every year.
Well, that's definitely. Grambling was rolling. They was really rolling back in them days. This is the man. This is State Fair Classic. It's media day today on a Monday. We got the big game coming Saturday. Any last words you want to say?
Well, the only thing I have to say is that you're going to see the #1 attended game in black college football here in Dallas, Texas, Saturday at 6 p.m. And it's going to be live.
But there you have it. This is the man, great, not only a great businessman, a great family man, and he loves HBCUs. Let's show our support. Let's come on out. I'll be there, believe me, and making sure that I put my eyes on the bands, which is going to show up and show out. Again, this is the HBCU Stroll with yours truly, Johnnie Cole, Mr. Black College Man himself. Thank you, Al, for coming. Thank you for letting us be a part of this great event, and we look forward to this Saturday at 6 o'clock between Prairie View, A&M, and Grambling State University.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sybil Wilkes with what you need to know. Today is Monday. Yep, we're back at it. September 26, 2022. Number 1, following a busy week in cases against and investigations surrounding former President Donald Trump, the January 6th House Select Committee prepares for what may be the final public hearing this political year. Reports indicate that the Wednesday afternoon public hearing may be the last active investigation hearing, or rather, the hearing being held while the fact-finding continues. There is the expectation of additional hearings after the releases of the interim and the final reports from the House Select Committee to investigate the January 6th attack on the United States Capitol. Number 2, in-person voting for the midterm elections began Friday in the states of Minnesota, South Dakota, Virginia, and Wyoming, kicking off a 6-week sprint to Election Day, November 8th. The landscape looks far different than it did 2 years ago. The start of in-person voting comes as the nation continues to grapple with the fallout from nearly 2 years of false claims that the 2020 presidential election was stolen from Donald Trump due to widespread fraud and manipulation. Number 3, U.S. health officials say 4.4 million Americans have rolled up their sleeves for the updated COVID-19 booster shot. The CDC posted the count Thursday as public health experts bemoaned President Joe Biden's recent remark that the pandemic is over. Health experts say it's too early to predict whether demand would match with the 171 million doses of the new boosters the U.S. ordered for the fall. Number 4, the city of Fort Worth, Texas has agreed to pay $150,000 to Jacqueline Craig pending council approval. To settle a lawsuit, Ms. Craig filed against the city alleging police violated her rights during an arrest. The lawsuit accused William Martin of using excessive force and alleged Fort Worth policymakers failed to supervise or discipline officers who used excessive force and failed to try to identify those officers. The lawsuit describes how she and the officer became involved in a heated exchange that ended up with Craig and her 15-year-old daughter being forced to the ground and placed in handcuffs, all while a taser was pointed at them. Number 5, what is mustard seed faith? First, we need to define faith, and faith is a gift from God. Mustard seeds are said to be the smallest of all seeds, and they can be found in the Middle East. Mustard seed faith means that it doesn't take a lot of faith to make things happen. Read more about it in our new addition to the What You Need to Know newsletter every Monday. Here's your daily inspiration from Yogi's Jewels. As my grandmama used to say, it's just nice to be nice. So, be nice. Join me today live on YouTube and Facebook at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central with comedians Huggy Lowdown, Chris Paul, and social justice activist Coy Malone as we discuss today's top headlines and more. Thank you to our What You Need to Know partners, Black Voters Matter and HBCU Go TV. To subscribe to my free daily newsletter, please visit SybylWilkes.com. Be informed, be empowered.
BS3 Network, changing the way you watch TV.